sport on this Tuesday, be awesome Tuesday, and let's start with the 2025 Afcon draw, which was held in Rabat, Morocco last night, and Zimbabwe and South Africa were again drawn together and will compete in Group B along with Angola and Egypt. This is at this year's finals in Morocco. That's in December, just months after they conclude battling in the same World Cup qualifying group. The Warriors and Bafana are tussling it out for a place at the 2026 World Cup finals in North America and have a qualifying match to come to be hosted by Zimbabwe in October. As near the end of the qualifying campaign, they will then meet again 2 months later. That's in December at the Cup of Nations finals after both were paired in Group B at the draw, which was conducted in Rabat last night. You look at the Warriors, they will begin their Afcon campaign, that is against Egypt, that is on the 22nd of December. And then they face off with Angola on the 26th. And then they finish their group matches against Bafana. That's on the 29th of December. So looking at how that will work out, the top two teams in each group, plus the four best third-placed finishers advanced to the last 16. Howard, obviously, looking at that group, I was watching the draw last night. I think we had it live here on ZTN just after our main news last night. At first, I thought, oh my gosh, it looks like this is a COSAFA tournament because it was Bafana, it was Angola. And then, of course, we were bound to face one of the heavyweights going into that draw as one of the lowest seeded teams. Obviously, Egypt have got a very rich history at the Afcon. I think 27 appearances at the tournament, 7-time champions. You know, they've got star players like Mohamed Salah, arguably one of the best players in the world right now. And then you've got Bafana. It's a team that we're very familiar with. And no matter how well or how poorly we are playing as Zimbabwe, I think we always fancy a battle with our neighbors from across the Limpopo. But for me, Howard, I think everybody's probably going to be looking at, it's probably going to be looking at Egypt and Bafana. But I think Angola have always been a tricky side for us as Zimbabwe. And I don't know, what was your reaction to maybe this group that we got, you know, in terms of, one, the caliber of opponents that we are going to face and our chances of possibly getting out of the group, given that two teams will have to progress to the last 16.
For the first time, I got excited.
Yeah.
I looked at our qualifying campaign. Obviously, we had other powerhouses like Cameroon and how we struggled against Cameroon. But I thought, you know, the shortcomings that the Warriors had during the qualifying campaign, that can be fixed. With the time that we've got a coach now, we've got an executive that is going to be driving football going forward. So from now until December, we've got about 11 months, you know, to fix what can be fixed, because the talent is here. We just need to identify and make sure we get the right people to come and play. We were just talking about this other player who's turning out in the championship. What's the name of the guy? I'll think about the guy. But look, we've got so many players out there that can come and turn out for Zimbabwe. However, now the other part of your question, when I looked at the group and possibly, you know, who's going to come out, I think Zimbabwe this time are going to the round of 16. Why? I'm not even looking at Bafana. You know, I've seen how they played. Remember, during that hocus pocus that we were trying to do, you know, changing coaches left, right, and center, we played against South Africa. You know, when the guys clicked, you could see South Africa backtracking. So what if now we've got all the arsenal at our disposal, we've got the coach, and everything is in the right place? We can make South Africa pound for pound. We can even do better. Look at how Mamelodi Sundowns are struggling now, and it's the core of their team. So that, I'm looking beyond South Africa. The only team that I'm really scared of is Angola. Look at their qualifying campaign, 100% record, and they were scoring goals. So that team is very, very dangerous.
And Angola as well, I mean, they've got a bit of a physicality, you know, maybe not as much as the West African teams, but, you know, compared to the other teams in that Group B, I think they've just always had our number. But I think what encourages me about possibly facing the Pharaohs of Egypt and South Africa is that in terms of analysis and data and being able to do research, because I think these teams are always playing friendlies. I think
they're out there.
If they're out there, Michael Nice will be well informed in terms of the possible threat, especially for a team like South Africa that we have faced. And I think with how we have improved, specifically in terms of our defense, I'm excited in terms of how we manage. And I think in the past, Egypt, I think they have never really humiliated us. I mean, the class, obviously, they've got that element of class. And, with a player like Salah, there can be a moment of magic. We can be solid defensively, but you always know if you slip up, he's going to punish you. But I'm quietly confident that we can salvage something. But we have to plan. We have to be intentional. We have to be deliberate. And who knows?
So I deliberately left out Egypt. Why? Because I wanted to give you a trend. In the past 3 Africa Cup of Nations editions that Zimbabwe went to, obviously because the last one we were not there. So the 3 before that, 2017, 2019, and 2021. We faced these Maghreb nations. Remember, we faced Algeria 2017. Then we faced Tunisia. In that high-scoring game, we were beaten 4-2 against Algeria, another high-scoring one. It was 3-3. Then 2021, we played against Egypt, and we were beaten by a 0-0. But look at the entire game. Zimbabwe was way better. I think a lapse in concentration at the beginning allowed Egypt to score, and then Zimbabwe got beaten. But I'm looking at that, and it's so encouraging every time Zimbabwe play against those Maghreb nations. So this time around, with better preparations, better coordination, better organization, better preparations, I'm sure something's going to give.
All right, so give us your thoughts in terms of what you think about that Group B, where the Warriors have been drawn against neighbors Bafana Bafana, Angola also in there, as well as 7-time champions Egypt.